All OU-Tulsa graduates, please rise. Will everyone please rise for the singing of our national anthem and the OU chant?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free? And the home of the brave. Please join me for the OU chant.
Beautiful by day and night, of colors proudly gleaming red and white, 'neath the western sky, OU's chant will never die. Live on, University.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, OU faculty and staff, members of the OU family, distinguished guests, and graduates, welcome to the OU-Tulsa Convocation ceremony. I'd like to start by thanking the Mabee Center for hosting us, Phil Armstrong, who did that beautiful national anthem and OU chant, and the City of Tulsa Pipes and Drums for that inspiring opening. My name is Dr. John Schumann. I'm the president of OU-Tulsa, and I'm most pleased to be your master of ceremonies this evening. I'd also like to welcome those watching the live stream of Convocation on the OU-Tulsa Facebook page and the OU-Tulsa YouTube page. So please feel free to share our live stream information with other family and friends who would like to watch tonight from near or far. Send them a text and tell them they can watch it on YouTube. After living through a global pandemic this past year, I am so happy to be here with all of you tonight. I'm happy to see all of you. We have a record number of graduates tonight for OU-Tulsa. And let me tell you, we're genuinely happy to be with you for this wonderful celebration of your accomplishments. And of course, not only do we have our 2021 graduates, but we invited back our graduates from last year who did not have the opportunity to walk across this stage. So we're thrilled to have many of you here tonight as well. We have all persevered, and you, our students, have truly earned everything this night means to you, your family, and friends. And as some of you may have already noticed, our ceremony breaks some traditions. We started, as you filed in, with video testimonials from our students on the big screens and modern music playing before the formal portion of the evening. And that's intentional for us. OU-Tulsa is not a traditional college campus. Every one of our educational and research programs are embedded in our communities, making those communities better and teaching our students in the real world. And we're very proud of that. In keeping with our non-traditional tone, I have only one rule for you tonight, that this is a celebration, and so we need to have fun and show that. So I want you to cheer and clap as loud as you can whenever you want. That was pretty good. But let's practice. So I'm going to read a statement, and then I want you to cheer after I say it. So let's start. Family and friends. Okay, the question, family and friends, how proud are you of your graduates tonight, or graduates, all of whom worked hard? That was good. That was really good. Okay, we have a number of first-generation college graduates, master's degrees recipients, and doctoral graduates, as well as international students and military veterans on the floor tonight. So congratulations to you and your families for getting here. That is a special accomplishment. And of course, graduates, how thankful are you to your family and friends for being there for you, encouraging you, supporting you through these trying times? I encourage you to stand up, face your families, and show your appreciation. Pretty good, but I think the families got you outnumbered. But everyone did a good job, and we're gonna do a great job tonight. So, I would now like to introduce the platform party, many OU officials who've also been critical to you and to OU's continual march to excellence on each of its 3 campuses. Please hold your applause until I have read all of the names. Now, starting on my left and your right, we have Mr. Hannibal Johnson, our speaker tonight, who I will introduce later. Dr. Belinda Higgs-Hypolite, OU's Vice President for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Dr. Mark Morvant, Vice Provost of Instruction and Student Success on the Norman campus. OU Regent Anita Holloway. And behind them, Dr. Randa Shihab, Senior Associate Dean for Academic Affairs in the Gallagly College of Engineering. Dr. Randall Hughes, Dean of the Norman Graduate College. On my right and your left, Dr. Jim Sluss, Associate Vice President for Academic Affairs at OU-Tulsa. Dr. Jane Wilson, Dean of OU's College of Allied Health. Dr. Julie Hoff, Dean of the Fran and Earl Ziegler College of Nursing. And behind them, Dr. David Robel, Dean of the OU College of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Stacy Reeder, Dean of OU's Janine Rainbolt College of Education. Dr. David Surratt, OU's Vice President of Student Affairs and Dean of Students. Let's give them all a round of applause. I'd like to thank our platform party for your ongoing support of OU-Tulsa, our programs, and our students. I mentioned earlier that this is a non-traditional ceremony in many ways. At this time, I'd like to invite Dr. Belinda Higgs-Hypolite, OU's Vice President for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, to the podium to share OU's land acknowledgement statement.
Thank you, President Schuman, and congratulations to all of our graduates. I am Dr. Belinda Higgs-Hypolite, and I'm very happy to be here tonight for this momentous occasion. And so now our land acknowledgement statement. Long before the University of Oklahoma was established, the land on which the university now resides was the traditional home of the Hassanah Long before the University of Oklahoma was established, the land on which the university now resides was the traditional home of the Hassanah-Kaido Nation and the Kirkitties, Wichita, and affiliate tribes. We acknowledge this territory once also served as a hunting ground, a trade exchange point, and a migration route for the Apache, Comanche, Kiowa, and Osage nations. Today, 39 tribal nations dwell in the state of Oklahoma as a result of settler and colonial policies that were designed to assimilate Native people. The University of Oklahoma recognizes the historical connection of our university with its indigenous community. We acknowledge, honor, respect the diverse indigenous peoples that are connected to this land. We fully recognize, support, and advocate for the sovereign rights of all of Oklahoma's 39 tribal nations. This acknowledgement is in alignment with our university's core values of diversity and creating a diverse and inclusive community. It is an institutional responsibility to recognize and acknowledge the peoples, cultures, and histories that make up the OU community. So again, that is our land acknowledgement, and congratulations to our graduates.
Thank you, Dr. Hypolite. The work done by you and your team on a daily basis is mission critical to the university and greatly appreciated, and so we thank you for joining us tonight. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, our College of Nursing graduates were not able to participate in their annual traditional pinning ceremony. So as we planned convocation, Dean Julie Hoff of the Fran and Earl Ziegler College of Nursing reached out regarding having the pinning ceremony for nursing graduates at our convocation. I thought this is an outstanding idea, so I'm honored to have the Dean here tonight to perform this important ceremony for our nursing students, and I'd like to ask Dean Hoff to come to the podium.
Thank you, Dr. Schumann. Give me 1 minute. I'm trying to use technology here. All right. So, good evening, and it is just such a pleasure to see everyone here. And so, tonight encompasses two celebrations, a convocation and the pinning of nursing graduates. Participation in both of these ceremonies celebrates the culmination of hopes, dreams, and a lot of hard work. And it signifies that the knowledge, skills, and aptitude expected of professional nurses have been imparted and learned. This would not have been possible without the support of loved ones, family, and friends. It would also not be possible without the dedication and commitment of the faculty and staff of the Fran and Earl Ziegler College of Nursing. Thank you all for your dedication, and I think many of them are over here to my right, for your commitment to the students that stand before us this evening. The nursing pin has a long history, and it dates back to the Maltese cross worn during the Crusades. It is a symbol of pledged service to the community with many professional rights and responsibilities. Historically, nursing programs design pins to commemorate the shared history and values of the faculty and graduates. The pinning ceremony is a long-standing tradition where faculty usually present pins to graduates as a symbolic welcome to the profession and an important role nurses serve in society. In honor of Fran and Earl Ziegler's 110th anniversary, all of our graduates this year have been presented with a pin on the part of the College of Nursing. The pin incorporates the rich tradition of the University of Oklahoma. It features the seal that includes the seed sower, which symbolizes the transformative power of an education. It also includes the Latin motto for citizens and for the state. The pin incorporates the University of Oklahoma colors, crimson and cream, encouraging each of you to continue your relationship with the university after you graduate. The bottom of the pin features a lamp in honor of Florence Nightingale, the British nurse, epidemiologist, social reformer, and founder of modern nursing. The lamp is an international symbol of nursing that pays tribute to Nightingale's unwavering dedication to the nursing profession. It is synonymous with goodwill, reliability, and compassion. For the College of Nursing, the 3 consecutive gold rings that are on the pin represent the compassion, the curiosity, and courage we expect of an OU nurse. At this time, I invite all College of Nursing students to locate the pin that they have at their seat that is on a cream-colored ribbon. show it to me that I know you found it. Perfect. Perfect. Now I'm going to ask you all to stand. Because of COVID, we cannot invite you to the stage to be pinned. So we're going to create a memorable pinning moment together. I'm going to ask our nursing students to just take a brief moment, take a deep breath, and close your eyes. For our undergraduate students, I want you to think about all it means to be a nurse. The lives you will touch, the hands you will hold, and the hope you will bring to patients and families. To our graduate students, think about your professional nursing journey up until this moment. Think about the new role you are prepared to assume, the lives you will touch, and the hope you will bring to transform healthcare and improve health outcomes. Now, take another deep breath and open your eyes. And with the greatest of pride and the most joyful smile, please take the pin and put it around your neck. And now I invite you to find a card that was placed in your packet as well. And together we will recite the Spirit of the Nightingale Pledge. And we often at this moment ask other nurses in the audience to please stand in support of these new nurses. So if you don't mind, please stand. So graduates, join me in the spirit of the Nightingale Pledge. I swear to fulfill, to the best of my ability and judgment, this covenant. I will uphold the ethical, scientific, and legal standards of my profession and devote myself to preserving human dignity, promoting patient equality, and ensure that patients have the right to make decisions about their own health. I will collaborate with patients, families, and healthcare providers to promote health, conserve life, and alleviate suffering. I will respect the dignity and beliefs of patients, families, and communities under my care, and hold in professional confidence all the personal information entrusted to me. I will endeavor to keep my professional knowledge and skills at the highest level and give my support and cooperation to all members of the healthcare team. With full knowledge of my qualifications and responsibilities, I will do my utmost to support the potential of my profession and to uphold and advance its standards. Thank you, graduates, and you may sit down. The University of Oklahoma has been preparing nurses since 1911. Graduates, you are joining a long legacy of nurses not only known for their exceptional nursing knowledge, skills, and aptitude, but for their compassion, their courage, and their curiosity across all aspects of the nursing profession. It is my hope for each of you that you will leave this evening filled with hope, filled with the possibility for your new beginning. And remember, you always have a home at the OU Fran and Earl Ziegler College of Nursing. My very best to you, and congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dean Hoff, for being here and for allowing us to include pinning in tonight's ceremony. Several students at OU-Tulsa who are with us tonight have taken it upon themselves to make OU-Tulsa a better school through service in the OU-Tulsa Student Government Association, or as it's fondly known, OUTSCA. Those students are wearing red and white stoles with their regalia, and we greatly appreciate their service to the university community. It is now my pleasure to ask OU Regent Anita Holloway to the podium to present a special award.
Thank you, Dr. Schumann. I'd like to ask Sarah Lynn O'Donnell, President of the OU-Tulsa Student Government Association, to join me here at this stage. Sarah Lynn, nothing I would say quite as much as that ovation from your fellow students you just heard. But on behalf of the Board of Regents of the University of Oklahoma, I'd like to present you with this plaque of appreciation for your service as the president of the OU-Tulsa Student Government Association. Thank you for what you've done for OU-Tulsa. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Regent Holloway and Sarah Lynn. Congratulations. When our team meets to brainstorm our dream wish list for convocation speakers, we always try to look for community leaders who inspire and make a difference every day. Our speaker this evening does all that and more. Hannibal B. Johnson, a Harvard Law School alum, is an author, attorney, and consultant. He's taught at the University of Oklahoma, the University of Tulsa's College of Law, and at another university with an orange color. Mr. Johnson serves on numerous boards and commissions, including the federal 400 Years of African American History Commission, as well as the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre Centennial Commission. He's written several books, including Black Wall Street 100, An American City Grapples with Its Historical Racial Trauma. His books chronicle the African American experience in Oklahoma and its indelible impact on American history. Hannibal Johnson wrote a play called Big Mama Speaks, a Tulsa race riot survivor's story, which was selected for the 2011 National Black Theater Festival and has been performed in Caux, Switzerland. He's received numerous awards and honors for his work and community service, and we're thrilled that he's joined us here tonight to share an inspiring message that will offer a brief meditation on the centennial of the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre and the lessons graduates and everyone can glean from the Black community who survived and managed to thrive post-massacre. Please join me in welcoming Hannibal B. Johnson.
Thank you for that gracious introduction, President Schumann. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy to join you on this momentous occasion, and congratulations to all. Nelson Mandela became the first post-apartheid, first Black, and first democratically elected president of South Africa in 1994. One day, shortly after taking office, he and his bodyguards met for lunch. Soon after being seated at the restaurant, they placed their meal orders. President Mandela noticed a man sitting alone at a nearby table, so he asked a member of his party to invite the man over. The man agreed. He stood up, he grabbed his plate, and he made the move. He sat down right next to President Mandela. The man shook uncontrollably the whole time he ate. He avoided all eye contact, gazing only downward at his plate. After everyone finished eating, the inscrutable man waved at President Mandela without making eye contact. The two shook hands, and the man walked away. Someone in President Mandela's group suggested that the man must have been ill, given his noticeably trembling hands, and others shared similar suspicions. President Mandela, hearing the speculation about the condition of the now departed man, spoke up. He told the others that the man was in fact not ill. They were perplexed, wondering what then was wrong with that man. President Mandela proceeded to explain. That man was a guard at the jail in which I was locked up. Often, after being tortured, I screamed and cried for water. That man came to humiliate me. He laughed at me. Instead of giving me water, he urinated on my head. No, that man was not sick. He was scared. Perhaps he shook out of fear that I, now the president of South Africa, would send him to jail and do the same things he did to me, torture and humiliate him. But that's not me. It's not part of my character. It's not part of my ethics. Minds that seek revenge destroy states. Those that seek reconciliation build nations. We need more Nelson Mandelas in our world, more nation builders. We need more women and men with compassion and empathy. We need more women and men who construct bridges across our great divides. We need more women and men who see in others kindred spirits worth dignity and respect. Nelson Mandela inspired and still inspires me. His embrace of our shared humanity will resonate for generations to come. Speaking of inspiration, my role and my goal converge this evening. As your convocation speaker, I aim to inspire you, to reveal the fire that already burns within, to spark a desire to spread the flames of passion and purpose as you find and fuel your work-life balance. As graduates of the University of Oklahoma at Tulsa, you're part of a proud tradition. As graduates of the University of Oklahoma generally, you're part of a decades-old legacy of achievement, an enduring school spirit that I sense this very evening. As graduates, once again, of the University of Oklahoma, you're expected to uphold high standards. You're expected to be persons of integrity. You're expected to honor and value the dignity and worth of the others whom you encounter along your journey from this point forward. As graduates of the University of Oklahoma, Tulsa specifically, you are heir to something special in this community, in Tulsa, that was revealed in our city's darkest hours. So let's peek behind the curtain of our history. That something special I'm talking about is the indomitable human spirit, the grit and gumption on vivid display in Tulsa's Black Wall Street before, during, and after the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre. By way of background, and as a refresher to some and an introduction to others, let me share an overview of Tulsa's historic Greenwood District. In the early 1900s, Tulsa's Black community, the Greenwood District, gained national renown. Dubbed the Negro Wall Street of America and later simply Black Wall Street, the neighborhood teemed with entrepreneurial and business activity: doctors, lawyers, pharmacists, dentists, beauty parlors, hotels, barbershops, dance halls, pool halls, movie theaters, restaurants, grocery stores, a jitney service, and so much more. The Greenwood District became the talk of the nation, a runaway Black success story in the national context of racial oppression. The calamitous 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre temporarily stilled the rocket-like trajectory of Tulsa's Black business mecca. marauding rioters seized upon this segregated enclave, leaving in their wake death and destruction. It was the worst incident of mass racial violence in United States history. It was a physical and psychological trauma passed down through generations. But in a remarkable resurrection, Black Wall Street rose from the ashes, peaking in the 1940s. Hundreds of Black-owned and Black-operated businesses converged in the Greenwood District. Beginning in the 1960s, changed social and economic conditions at the local, state, and federal level, integration, urban renewal chief among them, sparked a steep downward spiral. The impending centennial marks a turning point. For decades after the 1921 tragedy, few talked about it. We failed to own this part of our history, and that only widened the gulf of mistrust between Black and white Tulsa. It's as though there was a conspiracy of silence, mysteriously orchestrated and painstakingly enforced. We have only recently begun to acknowledge our past, speak about it, and grapple with ways to address it. Today, the resurgent Greenwood District consists of residential, commercial, artistic, educational, cultural, entertainment, and religious elements, all working together to reclaim part of the past glory of this special and for some sacred place. As we mark the centennial of the massacre, let's take a second look. Let's shine a light on other aspects of this history. Let's dig just a little bit deeper. I'm a fan of what's called appreciative inquiry, looking at the past with a view toward gleaning lessons about what works, what makes sense to replicate or leverage. And when I look back at 1921 Tulsa, specifically at the massacre, one thing stands out for me. That's the indomitable human spirit, endemic in the Black community in Tulsa. Let's consider the vision, determination, perseverance, faith, hope, and resilience of the residents of Tulsa's historic Greenwood District, Black Wall Street. Let's leverage those virtues in ways that help us meet the challenges of our day, not just around race, but more generally. Let's see ourselves as the natural heirs to what they showed the world. Let me illustrate what I mean when I talk about the indomitable human spirit. In the immediate wake of the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre, two friends exchanged letters. Curtis was a man in Detroit. He was concerned for the well-being of his dear friend here in Tulsa, whose name was Oliver. Listen to the letters. Dear Oliver, I am by our local newspaper fully advised of the whole terrible tragedy there. Now that they have destroyed your homes, wrecked your schools, reduced your business places to ashes, and killed your people, I am sure that you will rapidly give up the town and move north. Enclosed, please find a draft for $40 to purchase your ticket to Detroit. We'll be expecting you, Curtis. And the response? Dear Curtis, how kind of you to volunteer your sympathetic assistance. It's just like you to be helpful to others in times of stress like these. True it is, we are facing a terrible situation. It is equally true that they have destroyed our homes, they have wrecked our schools, they have reduced our churches to ashes, and they have murdered our people, Curtis. But they have not touched our spirit. And while I speak only for myself, let it be said that I came here and built my fortune with that spirit. I shall reconstruct it here with that spirit, and I expect to live on and die here with it. Oliver. The story of Tulsa's historic Greenwood District centers on the Olivers of the world, the individuals who at once exhibit toughness, tenderness, and tenacity. the people who surmount seemingly insurmountable obstacles, the souls who, in the face of handicaps, hardships, and hostilities, hold steadfast to their dreams. That's who the Greenwood District Originals were. That's the example the Greenwood District Originals set. That's the legacy the Greenwood District Originals left. As OU-Tulsa graduates, you are forever tied to our fair city. A piece of Tulsa lives within you. You are heirs to something special. As you graduate from the University of Oklahoma, Tulsa, know this about the indomitable human spirit. You came here and built your educational fortune with that spirit. You will leave here and tackle all that awaits with that spirit. And you will go forth, lead, and succeed with it. Onward and upward, Boomer Sooner.
Thank you, Hannibal Johnson. We appreciate your words, wisdom, your passion, and dedication to our community as we commemorate the centennial of this difficult time. As we approach the centennial of the Tulsa Race Massacre, I knew your message would be inclusive and remind us all that we can make a difference and thrive in our communities because it is true that our graduates have that indomitable spirit. So thank you again, Hannibal Johnson. I'd like to now ask Dean Jane Wilson and Dr. Mark Morvant to join me at this podium this evening as we begin the process of conferring degrees upon our students. So, yes. Come on up. So, will the candidates for graduation from the University of Oklahoma's Tulsa campus please stand?
Mr. President, I have the honor to present candidates for graduation from the University of Oklahoma's Health Science Center programs in Tulsa. They have been recommended by the faculty, and I now ask you to confer upon them their degrees.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present the candidates for graduation from the University of Oklahoma Tulsa campus. They have been recommended by the faculty, and I now ask you to confer upon them their degrees.
Thank you, Dean Wilson and Dr. Morvant. And now, by the powers vested in me by the University of Oklahoma's Board of Regents, the State Regents for Higher Education, the laws and statute of the state of Oklahoma, and by the authority of the President of the University of Oklahoma, Joe Harris, I confer upon you doctoral, graduate, and undergraduate degrees with all the rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining to these degrees. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, our graduates will walk across our stage.
Jonathan Burns. Keely Engelbrett. Taylor Smith. With outstanding distinction, Audrey Estes. With outstanding distinction, Taylor Foreman. Caitlin Goddard. Whitney Hoy. With outstanding distinction, Rachel Johnson. Austin Jones. With outstanding distinction, Taylor Lee. With outstanding distinction, Eric Jordan Moss. Jarrett Panel. With outstanding distinction, Kylie Randall. With outstanding distinction, Rachel Rogers. With outstanding distinction, Jaron Thomas. Shanna Deanne Vogt. And my apologies for those wondering, those students were all graduates now of our program, Doctor of Physical Therapy. They were hooded by Dr. Vince Lepak. The following graduates will be receiving the degree Master of Occupational Therapy. They will be hooded by Dr. Jessica Tesouris. Alexis Blasey. Blossy. Holland Carson. Emily Cruz. With outstanding distinction, Shelby Dickerson. Kelsey Harshman. Madison Langston. With outstanding distinction, Madison Lawley. With outstanding distinction, Mallory Martindale. Mallory Nowlin. With outstanding distinction, Sarah Smith. Rochelle Ward. The following students will be receiving the degree Bachelor of Science in Medical Imaging and Radiation Sciences, Sonography. Ashley Nicole Buttress. Hannah Combs. With special distinction, Laura Griffin. With special distinction, LaShin Herr. Michelle Richter. With special distinction, Anna Zimke. The following students will be receiving the degree Master of Urban Design. They will be hooded by Dr. Sean Schaefer. Samuel Hawk. Virginia Paiva. Alexandra O'Connell. Lahari Pelori. Sherry Marie Smith. The following students will be receiving the degree Master of Human Relations. They will be hooded by Dr. Jody Worley. Anissa Allen. Beryl Permal. Patrick Jones. Ruth Moat. Lance Fernandez. Jeff Owens. Linda Schmeckley. Chantel Ward. Nicole Wheeler. The following students are receiving the degree Master of Human Relations, and they will be hooded by Dr. Brenda Lloyd Jones. Vivian Tyson. The following students will be receiving the degree Master of Library and Information Studies. They will be hooded by Dr. Betsy Martins. Christina Acosta. Jacqueline Amanda Allwarden. Shelby Chamberlain. Caitlin Cundiff. Andrew Hollingshead. Cherokee Lowe. Heather Lozano. Noel Mavsessian. Tanya North. Crystal Poston. It happens every year, Crystal. The following student will be receiving the degree Bachelor of Arts in Information Studies. Jennifer Brummett. The following students will be receiving the degree Master of Arts in Organizational Dynamics. They will be hooded by Dr. Brigitte Steinheider. Sammy Walton. Allison Sky Freck. Carissa Coltman Burnett. Ashley Marie Fascio. Kendra Rakes. Ginger Sutton. Henry Rivas. The following students will be receiving the degree Master of Public Administration. They will be hooded by Dr. Meg Myers-Morgan. Cynthia Beasley. Sabina Brown. Matthew Alejandro. Rebecca Cottle. Whitney Rose Cipolla. Shamika Brown. Ariana Durr. Madison Curley. Christina Ellis. Abigail Hoffman. Chelsea Levo Feary. Maria del Carmen Oros Zamudio. Heather Palacios. Meredith Peebles. Sarah Tillman. Melissa Wilson. Jana Wright. The following several dozen students will be receiving the degree Master of Social Work. They will be hooded by Dr. Julie Miller Cribbs. Joshua Arnold. Jenna Baker. Zoe Bennett. Sydney Bischoff. Lonnie Starts. Sarah McGee. Sabrina Page Cothran. Danielle Coy. Carrie Cron. Rockalyn Daniels. Sandra Cooper. Pa Zhang. Carrie Davis. Amy Davis. Sarah Dively. Andrea Grace Doto. Deanna Duval. Julie Eigenhier. Joy Farron. Christina Filipakos. Alicia Geib. Marna Gonzalez Schmenk. Ayula Green. Crystal Hahn. Autumn Harris. Lacey Hedrick. Carolyn Hendricks. Heather Hickson. Harmony Jones. Rebecca Kessler. Brooke Hewitt. Kaylee Lamb. Singpei Lee. Virginia Christine Lilick. Amy Malnar. Robin Malone. Carrie Michelle Mashunkashay. Erin Margaret McLaughlin. Jennifer Michael. Anthea Miller. Emily Oberg. Oriana Ortega Givens. Kimberly Osborne. Charlotte Parker. Crystal Parker. Sarah Pilgrim. Jenna Adair. Brooke Gregory. Shannon McLean. Sarah Lynn O'Donnell. Rebecca Ann Roselle. Anissa Rogers. Brittany Ridenauer. I apologize. Brittany Ridenauer. Cassidy Rexwinkle. Jana Strom. Angela Steele. Randy Spear. Marjorie Kerr. Wendy Smith. Shelby Smith. Christian Sink. Rachel Simmons. Rebecca Shelton. Jace Scott. Megan Wilson. Raymond Williamson. Adair Welsh. Victoria Walker. Tracy Triplett. Lisa Trejo. Jeffrey Towns. Stacy Thomas. Christian Zapata Rincon. Abigail Irma Arias. Sorry about that. Abigail's degree was actually Bachelor of Arts in Social Work, and we'll continue with that. Kaylin Bailey. Brittany Lynn Candioto. Alyssa Bates. Kyla Gillette. The following students will be receiving the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Educational Administration and Curriculum Studies. They will be hooded by Dr. Tim Ford. Beulah Olajamoke Adigan. Ashlyn Gilbert Figner. The following students will be receiving the degree Doctor of Education and will also be hooded by Dr. Tim Ford. Fielding Elsman. Allison Fennell Conch. Charla Harris. Sherry Shalise Jackson. Rhonda Kessler. Seth Ann Lang. Joshua Robinson. Sarah Wyatt. The following students will be receiving the degree Master of Education. They will be hooded by Dr. Beverly Edwards. Abigail Andrus. Sarah Blakely. Michelle Bright. Margaret Dalton Hoffman. Alex Echeverria. Brandy Hamill Ellis. Shelley Harbor. Danielle Harrell. Shaylin LaShawn Lindsay. Patricia McMillan. Tyler Morgan. Christopher Nakashima. Karen Wagoner. Ashton Palmer. Jamie Powers. Alden Weeks. Courtney Whitson. The following students will be receiving the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Early Childhood Education. They will be hooded by Dr. Vicki Lake. Joni Chambers. Adrian Malik Lassiter. Rianne Ross. Following students will also be receiving the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Early Childhood Education and will be hooded by Dr. Kwang Ah Kwan. Valeria Milstead Ben Abdallah. Tanya Thomas. The following students will be receiving the degree Bachelor of Science in Education. Celine Alvarez. Brooklyn Baker. Martin Bernstein. Christina Butts. Megan Rain Cooper. Isabella Fisher. I'm going to go home with that guy. With special distinction, Laura Jeanette Ibarra. Erica Mathis. Yuana Nihom. Juanita Ramirez Ramirez. Sylvia Ramirez Ramirez. Megan Williams. Brandy Wilson. Christy Wright. The following students will be receiving the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Electrical and Computer Engineering and will be hooded by Dr. Hazem Rafai. Siraj Muhammad. Mohammed Afifi. And beginning with Mohammed, we're Master of Science in Electrical and Computer Engineering. We'll continue that with Nabil Asfari. Samuel Chan. The following students will be receiving the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Electrical and Computer Engineering and be hooded by Dr. James Sluss. Assad Zaidi. Following students will be receiving the degree Master of Science in Electrical and Computer Engineering. Marvin Menelastis. Joel Shodamola. The following students will be receiving the degree Master of Science in Criminal Justice. They will be hooded by Dr. David Babb. Trista Bowers. The following students will be receiving the degree Master of Science in Nursing and will be hooded by Dr. Susan Dresser. With special distinction, Libby Tallefson. Following students will receive the degree Master of Science in Nursing and be hooded by Dr. Stephanie Bird. Samantha Kipps. With special distinction, Rachel Reynolds. Daniela Romo. Taylor Russell. With special distinction, Ashley Fogelman. Kelly Stuckey. The following students will be receiving the degree Bachelor of Science in Nursing. With special distinction, Hannah Sipe. Ruby Aguilar Henriquez. With distinction, Ashton Ayers. Felicia Bearpaw. Heather Bess. Emily Blair. With distinction, Parker Brown. With special distinction, Kelsey Brubaker. With distinction, Taylor Brugan-Johann. Amy Bustos. Amanda Chalmers. Christopher Claybo. Amanda Cornelison. Lauren Craig. With special distinction, Christina Crow. With special distinction, Kaylee Dungis. Annalise Duque. With distinction, Sierra Cheyenne Elam. Mariah Elliott. With special distinction, Sarah Irvin. With distinction, Megan Faulkner. With distinction, Megan Foles. With distinction, Corey Fulton. With distinction, Pooja Gandhi. With special distinction, Cameron Glass. V. Ha. With distinction, Jaden Hall. Christian Hand. Caitlin Hodges. With distinction, Matea Leanne Jackson. Chelsea James Lamb. With distinction, Haley Johnston. Marcella Kitchens. With special distinction, Bailey Levering. Claudia Tess Luck. Katie Matthews. With distinction, Courtney Maccabee. With special distinction, Hannah McGarvey. Jennifer McGinty. With special distinction, Haley Lynn Millay. Lauren Moore. Jessica Mullen. Austin Nelms. Rindy Nichols. Manuela Hernandez Padilla. Kimberly Pacheco. Lucy Poole. Kenzie Liu. Laura Renteria. With distinction, Emily Reynoso Jimenez. With distinction, Cassidy Taylor Rink. With distinction, Kaylee Robinson. Lori Sheets. Taylor Sheets. Hannah Sirk. Thomas Stevens. Crystal Stewart. With distinction, Rosalie Stitch. Adam Talley. With distinction, Caitlin Teeter. Deborah Tiernan. With special distinction, Lori Tomlinson. Rachel Van Fossen. Goldria Vu. Ryan Warner. With distinction, Amanda Whittington. With distinction, Katie Wilhoit. With distinction, Mikhail Willard. Brock Zenka. Chelsea Zelenko. The following students will be receiving the degree Master of Public Health. They will be hooded by Dr. Mary Williams. Lacey Kaywood. Lindsay Eller. Jordan Hackney. The following and final student will be receiving the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Interdisciplinary Studies. They will be hooded by Dr. Jennifer Kaisamore. Nida Abujbara.
Congratulations to each and every one of our graduates who walked across this stage here tonight. Sooner. Congratulations, too, to your families and friends, and thanks to all of them for their support coming out tonight and supporting you through your many years of study. We're going to continue with our non-traditional night. There's only a couple of items left, but we're going to do something a little different. We're going to take a group photo. So behind me, a crane is going to be going up. I'd like to ask the platform party behind me to stand on up, and we're going to turn around. And I'm going to have the graduates stand up too, that are on the floor or in the stands, and look right above. Yeah, he's up there. Okay, I see him now. Look above the backdrop behind me, and you'll see either Jacoby or Jeremy, perhaps, on the. And I'm going to turn around. We're going to take 2 pictures. Okay, we're going to do a regular photo, and then we're going to do a second one where we raise our fingers and do the OU #1 sign. So follow my lead. It'll be fun. Neither Jacoby. Okay, now, yeah, you guys are better than me. All right. Woo! Please be seated if you want to. That actually worked pretty well. I want to thank everyone who worked hard tonight. I also want to give a special shout out to our executive staff and our operations team and our team from OU-Tulsa Student Affairs for putting this all together tonight. There's a lot of work that goes into it, and there's even more work when there's a pandemic. And I also, of course, want to thank the Mabee Center for hosting us here. This has been a phenomenal evening for OU, for OU-Tulsa, for the OU-Tulsa campus, and certainly, of course, for our graduates whose achievements we're celebrating here tonight. And I want to thank each of you, our graduates, our faculty, our administrators, our regent, our families, our friends. We salute you. To all our families and friends, we please ask you remain in your seats until our graduates have exited the arena, and then you can meet your graduate outside the Mabee Center. We'll do that outside kind of distancing thing. And to all of our graduates, let me be the first to say, congratulations, graduates.